What's up, guys? It's chachipower here to do a quick look. This is not a full review because I don't have batteries to show you how this works, but I do want to show you the sets here. Today I have the G-16 Tomy Bit Char-G by Tomy. Now, little known fact, I did have an online shop that sold a ton of these. I do have a few laying around still that I still am trying to get rid of, so if anybody's interested, please let me know. But I do want to show you these sets because they're cool, and now that I am getting rid of most of them for the holiday season, I do want to at least, show you guys what they're like, since I have the pleasure of having these around. So this is the box it comes in. Very simple. A lot of Japanese writing, since these are Japanese domestic market toys. Now, when these came out, they were a very hot item. They were very small, highly advanced little micro RC vehicles. And you'll even see here when they try to compare it with coins there and little eyeglass repair kits, you'll see the actual car is tiny. And you'll see it here compared to my hand. It's a very small matchbox sized and the front here has everything laid out. All right, it even tells you what kind of car it is. Here it gives you a bit of the specs. All right, so you get 4 different frequencies. You get a 57 megahertz, 45, 35, 27. All right, this one happens to be 45. All right, so you got the micro B motor. That's what they call them, micro Bs. And you'll see it has a 1.0. The 1.0 specifies the amount of RPMs that this little motor has. So 1.0 would be 10,000, 2.0 would be 20,000, etc., etc. Right? It's a 6-way control here. It's not proportional, so you can't adjust the speed, you can't adjust the turning radius. But what do you expect for something this small? Although now there is proportional RC cars that are this small. You get a 9.86 to 1 gear ratio. All right, and these ratios are adjustable, which I'll show you later. You get medium tires, which means they're medium grip. I don't know what it says here, so we're going to go ahead and open this up. Enough blabbing. Now when you open it up, you'll see it does have the instruction booklet, which just fell. It's a plain blue printed little booklet here, the instruction sheet. Even though it's in Japanese, you don't really need to know Japanese to put these together. I mean, there's some assembly required. Everything's pretty much self-explanatory. You put the car onto the side, little LED lights up. When it shuts off, you're ready to go. Shows you how the steering works here. Shows you how to fold and unfold the antenna. It also shows you something here, which I don't really recommend if you don't have experience taking stuff apart, or if you're not careful with things, because you can remove the little chipboard set on the car to reveal the battery, which doesn't need to be replaced. However, if you're buying these, and I have noticed with a couple that I sell, the batteries do tend to go bad after a while, and most of the time it just requires you to just spin the battery, because but over time it does tend to lose contact, so just spinning the battery on there does usually help it along. But you'll see it's got little wires connected to the chipboard, so you don't really want to mess with those. All right, and of course it does say here you can use the lap counter. I do have the lap counters too, but I don't have one for this video at the moment, and they sell tracks and everything for this. And it does have this little thing here where it does show you where you should put the tab of the motor. Don't have it this way, and what I mean by the tab is when you look at the end bell of the motor, which you'll see here with the little pinion gear, you'll see there's a little tab, and then you would put the motor in there and have it function with the motor. So here's the set. This is the Subaru set again. Pop this thing off. The first thing I want to show you is the actual controller, so we'll pop that out, and you'll see it's a small controller, nothing really fancy. You get a little screwdriver here, pop this open, put the 2 AA batteries, and you do have the antenna thing here. The antenna you can actually just pull out by hand, right? And you'll see the antenna, even though it's been rolled up forever, it does stay pretty straight up. All right. Now to fold it in, you just twist this. All right. You'll see it starts winding back in. There you go, for storage. Buttons are click type. All right, the on and off switch, on, up. This tells you the charge right here. This is the charge light, which is for 45 seconds. Usually Lets you run for about 5 to 10 minutes in my experience. Now this other LED lights up when you do move the buttons here. All right. Now the side here, you'll see there's a charging port. This is where you would connect the car to charge the car. And I did say there was some slight assembly required, nothing crazy, although if you've never put anything together in your life, or if you know, especially for younger people, you may want to have a parent help you out with this. But pop the body out here, we'll save that for later, that's the cool part. Now this is the actual chassis here. Now you'll see the chassis it's very small, and this is where the magic happens. This is the actual part of the car that obviously makes it move. So you'll see it's got the little chipboard set there. It's got the antenna that's wrapped around because it's brand new. Normally what you want to do is fold it up, and then you get the steering mechanism here, and you do get the axle. Right, and here's the axle. You'll see it's got the color matched wheels for the Subaru WRX, which has gold wheels. And you'll see the drive gear here. Now the other gear, right, is right here in the little baggie with the pinion. That other gear you would attach to this little axle piece that sticks out. All right, it's not actually an axle, it's actually what the gear spins on. So this piece does not actually move, it's just what the gear spins on. You'll see in a second what I mean. And you'll see the tub there for the motor in the back. All right. It also has a heat sink. This is the actual motor cover, but it does act like a heat sink. It does take away heat from the motor. They're very small. They don't create too much heat, but because of their size, you don't really want them overheating. And then here's the Micro B 1.0 motor. So this is a 10,000 RPM motor. Now, because this set is brand new, I'm not going to use this, in case I want to get rid of this. I don't think whoever buys this will want me messing around too much with the motor. So, and same thing with this little baggie. It's got the pinion and gear. I won't be opening that since I do have a spare set for you guys to check out. Now, you'll recall earlier in the video I did mention that I had an online shop. So because I sold a lot of these, I actually went out and found makers of these tiny motors. All right. And there wasn't a lot of motors available at the time. There was a few people selling motors, and some of them were actually good. Some of them, the quality varied. So I wanted to make sure that if I made a motor, it was very good. And it actually ended up being a very popular motor. It was called the 3.4 Dark Side. Now, if you guys are into Bit Char-G, if you've heard of the 3.4 Dark Side, I am the creator of those. All right, I'm going to use the 3.4 to demonstrate the motor in the car. Now, to use the motor in the car, you do need to attach this tiny pinion that can get lost. I can't even show it on camera. The back of the controller actually has a little spot there where you put the pinion. All right, so we got it right in there. Then grab the motor, and you'll see it's got a little example here, a little motor with the pinion. You just stick the shaft there. There you go. So it's perfectly put onto the motor. It's at the exact length it needs to be. Then you can go ahead and attach the smaller gear here. Now this is cool because you can buy different axle sets which have different gear ratios. For this one I'm using the standard ratio. So you just pop the axle in like that, and you'll see the gear spins there. Alright. Next thing you want to do is attach the motor. And you'll remember the tabs have to be a certain way. For this demonstration, I'm just going to pop it in wherever. You'll see the motor fits nice and snug in there. Now you'll see the heatsink has hooks here. They're going to go over that rod there, that little shaft that this little gear is on. Pop that on there. Sometimes the antenna gets in the way. You can just fold it out of the way. Put the hook, whoops, got it backwards. Put the hook on this way. Make sure it's right on that shaft there. Then it pops right into the back, like so, and it gets held in like that. Alright, so the next thing we want to do is attach the tires. And you can do this any order you want, guys. This is, just a demonstration here. You can put the tires on first, it doesn't matter, it might be easier. And once you got the tires on, you can go ahead and put the body. The body has a cutaway on the back there. Put the antenna through there. And then the tabs on the chassis, you'll see the tab back here goes into the slots on the body. So you go ahead and pop that in there. And the front should just snap in like so. And you got your little Bit Char-G car going on there. Now I wish I had the batteries to charge it up and show you guys. I don't at the moment. Now what's cool is that Tomy actually built these little pullback cars that use Bit Char-G bodies. So if you were to purchase this, not only do you have a little cool pullback car that has adjustable steering, you'll see it's got that little piece there that lets you know how much you've adjusted, but you also get a cool Bit Char-G body. Alright, here's a little chassis just so you can see it, but it's the same size so that you can put it right onto your Bit Char-G. For example, you can go ahead and put the Corolla body right on there, and you got yourself a cool little Bit Char-G. So hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Had fun making it. Yeah, I'm probably gonna put this one together to do a little video for. Might decide to just keep this one, but I got a few more out there in case anyone's interested. But that's gonna be it for today, guys. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Until next time, bye bye.